Good evening. As spoken before, my name is Harry Banks. I'm running for the County Commissioner in District 1, all the way from the beautiful city of Crescent City. To tell you a little bit about myself, born and raised in Crescent City, went to Crescent City High School, graduated, went to Bethel College in North Kansas, football scholarship. I studied criminal justice. After I left there, I became a highway patrol in the state of Florida and South Florida. After I left there, again, moving to Memphis, Tennessee, becoming an investigator for Labana Hospital there. After many, many years of traveling, my wife decided that was enough moving. So we moved back to Florida, and I became one of the assistant superintendents at the Juvenile Detention Center in St. Augustine. And I'm currently employed by Georgia Pacific here. A little bit about my community involvement. I'm the local president, was the local president of the NAACP, the president of a nonprofit organization here. I also studied theology in Atlanta, Georgia. Also, I am a deacon in the church, Sunday school superintendent, did other things in the community that I live in. Always try to be a part of that community and help give back. Also, 30 seconds. We do try to, at this time, being a part of at the meal. We're part of different safety organizations there. I'm a medical responder there, one of the rescue team members there, and I'm a lab analyst.
Thank you, Mr. Banks. Next, we have Mr. Robert Bly. Mr. Bly.
Hi, I'm Robert Bly. I'm also running for County Commissioner District 1. I live in Little Park. I'm an inventor, I'm ex-military. I was in the Navy. Let's see, other Navy guys, okay. So anyway, when I was in the Navy, I was an opticalman. I worked on electronics and optics. So that's led me to be kind of the inventor that I am now. I'm really good at troubleshooting, problem solving, that type of thing. I don't want to waste my 2 minutes talking about myself, so let me just say a few things about what I want to do. I want to look at the policies and ordinances that limit growth to evaluate their existence. If we're spending money on something, I want it to be something that's getting results. I would like to also require that all public meetings given by elected officials or their staff allow public input regardless of what the meeting is called. If I go to a public meeting, it should be just that, public, and the public should be allowed to speak. I would also like to make sure that we're directly marketing potential industries that fit our development plan. Right now, we need to bring in more primary jobs here. The primary jobs will feed the secondary industries, and that will help us to grow. We need growth. We've been declining for at least 20 years, and that has to end. We have to get better at creating new businesses and keeping the businesses here that are falling by the wayside on their own. 20 seconds. I have a lot more that I'd like to state. For one thing, I'd like to reinstate the wording that was removed from the Better Place Plan. And I also have a plan to lower the special assessment at the landfill by half. So I'm Robert Bly. I'd like to vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bly. Just a word of advice: if you want to be heard, you have to pull the mic up close to where you speak.
Everybody hear me? I'm Bill Pickens, candidate for County Commissioner of District 1. I'm actually a third generation of my family to live, make a living, and raise my family in South Putnam. I'm very proud of it. I'm very blessed to have done that. My wife of 28 years is with me right now, Holly. She's an educator. She's taught for 34 years. We have 2 children, 2 boys, Ian and Bobby, both educated in Putnam County schools. Ian and his wife, Shanae, are assistant state's attorneys in Ocala, and Bobby just finished his 2nd year of law school. As I said, I'm the 3rd generation of my family to be able to operate a business in South Putnam. owned and operated the Napa store in Crescent City for about 35 years, since the mid-'80s, and also have 2 small mini warehouse complexes. So I know what it is to make a payroll, go through tough times and good times. Why am I running for county commissioner? It's very simple. This is my time and my window. The incumbent, Ms. Nancy Harris, is not running. My kids are raised, and so this is my window of opportunity. And it's just to give back to a community, to a county that's been good to the Pickens family for almost 90 years. My concerns about the county in South Putnam are no different than what they are in Bostwick or West Putnam. It's promoting a positive image for Putnam County, a good quality of life, promote economic development and recreation for our children. That's all I want to do, is to go to the commission with an open mind, to work with the 4 commissioners that will be in place to try to make a difference for Putnam County. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pickens. The first 3 speakers are running for the District 1 seat. The next 2 speakers will be the District 3 seat. Commissioner Carl Flagg.
Thank you so much. I first would like to say thank you to the Bostwick Community Association for giving us this privilege and pleasure for citizens throughout our community to gather information and facts on who we are and where we stand. I'm Carl Flagg, your public servant. I've served over the years in our community that I love. I was born here, raised here, and it is my intent to be here, to be a part of the process to make us better and stronger and a wiser community. I am very humbly the husband of Terry Flagg for 30 years on Flag Day, and she's in the back, Flag waving hand. The father of 2, Carla, who's a licensed funeral director, as well as administrative assistant at Flag Serenity Chapel. And I also, 4 months ago, was blessed to become a grandfather. And Jayla Faith has joined us tonight, and that brings joy to my heart because that's part of my testimony. I want to continue serving our community so that I can ensure, be a part of the team that ensures that our community will have a quality of life that my granddaughter and others in this community will enjoy. I've been blessed to serve as senior pastor of Mount Tabor Church for 25 years. I've been a licensed funeral director for 33 years, and I'm very humbled to say that I served as a city commissioner for 5 years, 10 years as Palatis mayor, and the past 4 years you sent me to Putnam County to make a difference. And I promise you, I have not done anything by myself. I have worked with the team, not a rubber stamp, but to make sure that what we do enhance the quality of living for all of our citizens. Thank you for the privilege of serving.
Thank you, Commissioner Flagg. Mr. Douglas Hayes. Mr. Hayes.
Hello there. My name's Douglas Hayes. I was that homeless veteran. I was sick with cancer, and I'm living proof that the county commission could care less about us. I want to grow old in this county. I see where, on the outside looking in, that we need to create industry, quit bringing developers in and get left holding the bag. I'm an idea man. I'm creative. My daddy's a scientist. My mom's an inventor. It's in the gene pool. If you visit the election office website and pick out my name on the candidate profiles, a lot of my platform is there, and who I am and what I'm all about. As an example, I have an answer for our animal control problem, and that'll be on the first paragraph. The second thing is fire the county administrator. He is not the mayor of Putnam County. I have been able to watch how this guy operates. He schedules things so fast that nobody can think. He comes up with these ideas. We're $50 million in debt. Our property values have been lowered by 2%, while the surrounding counties went up by 3% and 4%. Something's got to change. And the way to go about it is to create industry. And I have a whole list of ideas, and that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I'm nervous as could be. I do not have a campaign fund. I'm not party affiliated. I don't belong in part of the buddy program, and I don't expect to be. One of the things we're running into is that there's too much
20 seconds, Mr. Hayes.
back scratching going on. And one way to alleviate that is to get somebody that's going to break up the party monopoly, and hopefully I can do that. And represent you, not my circle. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. That completes the District 3 candidates. We are now with the District 5 candidates. Ms. Mary Kay Engleby. Ms. Engleby.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Start it on, Mary.
Can you hear me? Oh, you hear me now. Thank you. Listen, since we only have a couple minutes to really say what's in our heart and how we feel about the county, I'm going to read to you. By the way, I've lived here 27 years. It's my home. I'm passionate about this job, and I know in my heart and my prayers I can make a difference. I look at county government as a business, and every 4 years we elect someone to run the business. I look back 4 years to date to see how our business has been running. My search found out the business was not running for the betterment of the citizens that live here. We are being audited by the state of Florida, labeled the poorest county in the state of Florida. C's and D schools, no jobs, drug abuse, domestic violence, air pollution, child abuse, juvenile crime. Financial reserves is being drained to balance the budget. I want to see us remove these clouds. I call them clouds. And one by one, if we just take that chance and we start slowly bringing industry, jobs to our county, we can get rid of those clouds. We can get rid of the image that everyone has in Putnam County of all the negative things that are being said about us. We can change it as a community and working together as a community. We're $60 million in debt. That concerns me. Who will be running the business the next 4 years? It's time for some change. It's time for someone who really wants to work for you. I'll be a full-time county commissioner. There is transparency in my government. I will always return your phone call. There's no such thing as a stupid question. It's only stupid if you don't ask it.
15 seconds, Ms. Engleby.
Please, give me that opportunity. I'll be on the August ballot. Let me have 4 years to show you the difference between now and then, and the positive things in 4 years. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Ms. Engleby. Next is Mr. Buddy Goddard. Mr. Goddard, please.
Okay. Again, thank you. Thank you for putting this on. This is very important for our community. My name is Buddy Goddard. I'm running for District 5. It's my wife, Shondell, very special lady. But she is the purpose that we're here. I run a company. I've been very successful in business for years. But she wanted our kids growing up in Putnam County. She grew up here, is where she was born and raised. And me being the man of the house, I put my foot down and we moved here immediately. And we're raised our kids. And our kids have really done well here. This is a beautiful place. All we got to do is look around. This is a beautiful county. We have so much going for us that it's disheartening when I know how far in debt we are. We're the poorest county. I hear all the negative, most of it from people who live here, by the way. But it's wrong. I've watched other counties grow. This county can grow. It needs some tender, loving care is what it needs. It needs some people pushing in the right directions that will absolutely make a difference. That's all it is. It's all here. Everything we need is here. We need to promote our businesses that are here to make them stronger. That in turn will bring other businesses here. Nobody wants to move to a town that businesses are dying. I heard some shocking news today about the high-level bar closing, which I don't go to the bar, but it's still, when a bar closes in your community, you're hurting. That's bad. It's bad. I'm going to try to cut this real quick. There's things that I know that I'm going to look at as a business person, but that's what we've got to do. If we're going to build this up, we're going to have to put jobs here. Too many people have to leave here every day to earn a living. That's ridiculous. And I'm done. Thank you very much. Vote for Buddy. I will not be in the primary.
Pellissier. Thank you, Mr. Myers. I'm Walt Pellissier. I want to thank the good people and the voters of Putnam County for 4 years ago bestowing the honor and privilege on me of allowing me to be a part of fixing this county. This county didn't get this way overnight. It's not going to get fixed overnight. Anybody that thinks that they've got the magic wand, and even if I did, I'm just one magic wand. It takes two more to change everything. Before I get too far in, I don't want to forget my children. I have two daughters, Peyton 15 and Brenna 12, who is accompanying me tonight, and I appreciate that very much. But they're the reason I'm here. I'm a lifer. 53 years I've been here. Born in the Glendale Hospital on 2nd Street, 1963. This is my home. If I don't want it to be better, there's nobody else that would want it to be better more than I do. This is where I've chosen to raise my family. I want my children to have a place, hopefully, to be able to come here and work and not have to travel outside the county. But like I said, this county didn't get this way overnight. It's not going to fix it overnight. There's nobody that can say that they can do that, and it just ain't so. But I do think I am a part of the solution, not the problem. I enjoy working with the colleagues that I have there. I do think we've made some progress in the past 4 years, but I do think there's room for more improvement, and we're on the right track. I think we've got things going in a better way, but you're not going to see those results and those numbers that fast. It just doesn't happen. Again, I'm Walt Pellissier, run for re-election, and I appreciate your consideration. District 5. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pellissier. We will now start on the section where we will ask specific questions, and we'll start with Mr. Banks. And the first section has to do with recreation and the Pulatka Golf Course. What is your opinion of the county partnering with the city of Pulatka relative to the operation of the Pulatka Golf Course, including financial assistance? Mr. Banks. Mike forward.
I would like to, at a county commission spot, the county is supposed to want to reach out and help everyone that we can. One thing I do know, and before we can help someone else, we must help ourselves. We must position ourselves so that we can help others. I don't think at this moment that we can offer much help in that regard, but I would like to see us do something for them. That we must first take care of self, get self lined up in the right position, then we can help others.
Thank you, Mr. Banks. And I might ask, you're allowed 2 minutes on these questions, but if you want to go for less, that's perfectly fine, because we're going to be pressed for time. And as a matter of housekeeping, I just want to tell you that we plan to be out of here by 8:35. So, same question, Mr. Black. Should I repeat the question?
I don't think that it's a good idea that the county get involved with the city in a project that's purely a city project. A municipal golf course is a municipal golf course. It's not a county golf course. Now, if our county was doing better, and if we weren't spending $3 million a year out of our reserves, of which we have about 6 more that we can do that with, then I'd say maybe we could try it out for a couple of years if we could save the golf course and make it profitable. But if the golf course was taken over by a private entity, that private entity would lose money, not the city. So if the city was to sell the golf course to a private entity, the city wouldn't lose money if the golf course lost money. So maybe that's a better solution.
Thank you, Mr. Bly. Mr. Pickett?
I think the county should at least take a look at it. It's a very old golf course, and it's a special golf course. I think it's a peak dye design. And it also brings in people from outside of the county to play golf there, and that brings in revenue there. I'm not sure how many people are employed, but you all have to look at that, how many jobs would be lost. And then another gray mark, Putnam County, if it were to just close. They can't even support a golf course. Also with the golf course, there's other activities that go there. The clubhouse, have different functions there. There's a number of charity organizations that have tournaments there to raise money for a specific charity, which that would be lost too. So I would think the county commission should at least take a look at it and see if it's a win-win situation for the city and the county.
Thank you, Mr. Pickens. Commissioner Flagg.
Thank you so much for the question. It is a wonderful opportunity, but an unaffordable proposition. It's very precise that the Palatka Municipal Golf Course need to have a revised business plan that will show some entity revealing their capabilities of successfully operating. It's no such thing as putting a Band-Aid on a wound. It will still cause deterioration of that entity. So it's very important that the city of Palatka, with the current conditions that are operating there, revise their business plan and show a plan of success, whether it's private or private-public partnership or whatever they deem the solution to be. We don't have enough information to jump into a situation that would cause the county taxpayers to bear an additional burden. Keep in mind, we're very much aware that the municipal golf course serves well beyond the population of the city of Palatka. So again, wonderful but unaffordable. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Flagg. Mr. Hayes.
This is exactly why I'm running for county commissioner. I presented the idea, but I don't see any response. It's real simple. Community golf course. Create a separate entity, no longer being a product child of the city. It would be a community golf course, which in turn you have a complete different funding structure. Now the city can grant money to the golf course, but now you can do GoFundMe, you can have golf tournaments. What do you know? We can have barbecues. Now that overpriced buddy system, $250,000 I spent on a useless restaurant. How about if we get with the community college and develop a culinary school and have that as an outbuilding, and then all of a sudden you've got part of the tourism would be where he goes to play golf and she learns how to do some type of culinary thing, which will work with the tourism. Now we've got a package deal. We got something unique with the culinary school because the size of the kitchen. How about them fancy barbecuers that they got? You could have 10 of those and your students. Now all of a sudden you've got, you know, we have people that write books, have book signings. That'll be a draw. But the whole thing is the funding. See, the city is whining because they have this monkey on their back financially. The county doesn't have money to pick up the tab on it. But if you create a separate entity, just like a community center, it's a separate corporation. Now you can panhandle for money. If you're a government entity, you can't go to GoFundMe and crowdsource and have barbecues and other alternative funding methods. That pulls it out of the mechanism and the possession of the city and becomes part of the community. And we can keep it that way instead of a for-profit individual that's going to buy it for
15 seconds
on the dollar. Like when they tore down that building for $1.5 million, sold it for $180,000. You know, that was really bright. They do the same thing with the golf course, but it's a separate entity. It's different.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Next, we have Ms. Mary Kay Engelking, District 5, Canada. Ms. Engelking.
Thank you. I believe with agreement with Carl, we're $60 million in debt. We don't need to put another burden, another cloud on our county government and the citizens of this county. No, at this time, I don't think it's the right time. It may be down the road, but not at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Engelking. Mr. Goddard.
Yeah, that's actually very easy to answer. No, we can't do it. I mean, we're too far in debt, we just can't do it. It's a nice thought, but at this time, I don't think we can do it.
Thank you, Mr. Goddard. Commissioner Pelletier.
I think that the golf course is important to a community. I'm not a golfer, so you're not going to see me out there, but I do think it's an important part of it. There's a lot of business deals. I understood and was told that when GP was sold to the Koch brothers, that was actually done at a golf course on a Wednesday afternoon. So big deals do happen there where the movers and shakers of businesses do meet. Us funding it we just simply don't have it in the budget. But I do think a golf course is important. I think it needs to be run probably by a private entity, someone who knows a heck of a lot about golf courses. That I'm sure there's got to be a corporation that manages those throughout the country for people that actually have the facility. We have a beautiful facility, and as I understand it, ours is a Ross, Donald Ross facility designed in 1925, and he was one of the premier golf course designers of that period. So there's a lot of history there. I think it's a great place that we, if there's any way they can hold on to it, should, but I don't think the county can find that right now.
Thank you, Commissioner Pellissier. Our next question has to do with the landfill. I'm sure you are aware of the increasing costs to our citizens to operate the Putnam County landfill. What ideas do you have on this issue? Mr. Bly, we'll start with you.
Well, for the landfill, right now we're spending multiple millions of dollars, and I can't quote the price right off the top of my head. Actually, I would be able to, except that it doubles. A price is quoted, and then when we go to pay for it, the price is double. So right now we're mining phase one because it's leaching benzene into the groundwater. That has to be cleaned up. We have to put a liner down, and we also need the airspace for the landfill for expansion because we're running out of phase one space. My plan, as we were told during the SWAT meetings, Solid Waste Advisory Board meetings, by the director out there, we're only working at about 25% capacity right now. That means that 75% of the day, the people that are in those trucks or doing whatever aren't doing anything. So my plan involves taking them, buying a little bit of equipment, a couple of separators, putting them out there on phase one, and using the existing personnel, maybe hiring a couple more for a temporary job, and cleaning that up ourselves. Then we hire a contractor to come in, put down a new liner, and we pay that contractor to put down the liner, and we have the engineering done, and we sell the equipment, recoup our money, and put it back in the bank. Essentially, we'll be saving tens of billions of dollars by doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bly. Mr. Pickens?
Yeah, on the landfill, definitely I understand that it's not operating at capacity.
Bill, could you speak up?
Okay, all right, yes, sir. And that you would have to look at, alternative sources, to maybe a new company. I know it was a gasification that they looked at. Maybe there's something else out there that the county could look at. Also, might look at the recycling, see if there's some revenue there. If we stepped up our recycling through the whole county. And also, you have to look at importing garbage. I know that's a nasty word. If you're not operating at top efficiency, and if it's because we don't generate enough garbage, that you would have to maybe consider bringing some of that in. So.
Thank you, Mr. Pickens. Commissioner Flags, we're going to try to turn up our amp a little bit, Mr. Buckles.
Thank you very kindly. The law of supply and demand fits this equation just like it does many others. Many times individuals have what we call the fear of the unknown as it relates to proposals to make us better and more efficient. The opportunity passed us by when various counties were uniting to create a regional concept of landfills. We are among the last counties in the state to actually have a local county-owned and county-operated landfill. Those counties came together, regionalized, and they created interlocal agreements so that they could maximize the opportunity for waste to be disposed of in an efficient manner. So again, I'm not looking at a statewide project because obviously we don't want waste being trucked in from out of state and other places. But in order for us to be efficient, in order for us to pay the bills and to generate enough waste so that we can balance what needs to happen there. One of the opportunities is for us to be regionalized. The other opportunity, obviously, is based upon technology, but not just technology. We need proven technology. We need methods that have already been tried and true there that is acceptable in the United States of America. It is very important that we don't jump on any and every bandwagon that comes through and think that there is a pie-in-the-sky solution. Many times individuals think that all you have to do is just, do this and try this. Everything you try costs money. So we need to be conservative in our approach, but we need to be assertive to make sure that we use the technology and maximize regionalization to make this proposition one that is progressive. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Flagg. Mr. Hayes.
Once again, I presented my ideas to Mr. Gantz. He's on burnout. He's tried it all and wants to charge you at the convenience center. The convenience is for the landfill that we're kind enough to take it to this little location instead of waiting for them to come pick it up. Yes, there is money in recycling. We are currently paying a private party to come and pick up our recyclables, and then they turn around and sell it to make a profit. I don't quite understand the logic in that. I'm trying to figure out that if I don't pay you to pick up my trash, you're going to take my home from me because it's impounded on our property taxes. The beauty of privatization is that I have the freedom of choice. I would like to be able to hire that young man that's been certified with his pickup truck to go and pick up my trash at perhaps a competitive cost, not have my home leveraged against it. Now, in regards to the actual landfill and the landfill process, if we set guidelines as to what we're going to put into the landfill, did you know that they put in our old pitcher tubes and that kind of stuff? Did you know that there's a company down in Tampa that recycles pitcher tubes? They're willing to set up shop in this county if we demonstrate enough volume. So this idea that we don't want to get other people's trash, if there's money in it, let's go for it, because now we've created an industry. You know that when we watch the grocery store and they put the cardboard in a compressor, they ship it to an outside company. Why aren't we processing that cardboard? In fact, my idea is that Hawthorne Mill that used to make plywood,
10 seconds.
We can retrofit it and make cardboard and retrieve everybody's recyclables, and before you know it, we've created industry.
Thanks, Mr. Hayes. Ms. Engelking.
I turned off so it doesn't sound like
Okay, gotcha. All right. Not mechanically inclined, I guess. What I want to say is recyclables. I can't understand why we don't look into why we can't make dollars off of our recyclable items. Also, I think there needs to be a lot of research, and before we end up selling the landfill, I've been told that that's eventually going to happen, and I'm totally against that. We don't need to be selling our landfill at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Engelking. Mr. Goddard.
Well, that is a touchy subject. I do not believe we need to get rid of our landfill now. But I have had the opportunity. I have looked at Robert's plan. That's a very good plan, by the way. That is a very good plan. And I think it's not just Robert. Robert's one of he's taken the time to investigate it and figured it out. But there's other people that can come up with good plans too. But that is a good plan. Using our recycle is a good plan. And I think we need to do some more investigation into the gasification. That seems to be, that was one where they were going to put up the money, we weren't. And it just kind of fizzled out, but that was a good plan. But we need to do everything we can so that we keep our dump, and we need to make it where it is profitable. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Goddard. Commissioner Pellissier.
I voted against the sale of the landfill. when I reviewed everything that they brought before us, their money just wasn't right. They wanted to get the bulk of the money at the end of the sale, and anything I've ever been involved in, that's just not the way business is done. It's funny that this question comes up and talk about the cost of the landfill. We were in a budget meeting today, and it appears it's only $9, but our pickup fee is going down by $9 this year on our tax bill. So every little bit helps. We have a very valuable piece of property out there. We have 1,562 acres of landfill. That is beyond belief in size compared to surrounding counties or any other county in the state of Florida. I mean, they call a big one 400 and 500 acres. We have 1,562 permitted DEP ready acres for landfill. So we're not in any danger of running out of landfill space by no means, and none of our other firms. So we are sitting on a gold mine out there. If the need ever did become available that we needed to sell, if that came about and that somebody got their money right, I'm not against selling it eventually, if the money was right. But the money certainly wasn't right last time. But our Solid Waste Advisory Board did recommend that we look into taking outside waste, and we're certainly looking into that, but it's going to be run, handled, and controlled by Putnam County. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Pellissier. To highlight what you just mentioned, I would like each person, the issue of bringing in household waste from out of county as a means of generating revenue and decreasing the cost to our citizens. That issue was broached and discussed some time ago when we had our landfill issue meetings. In 1 minute or less, please respond to the processing of out-of-county waste. And we'll start with
Mr. Myers, Mr. Banks never got the first question.
I'm sorry, Mr. Banks, go ahead and finish the first question.
I would like to say about the landfill, before I go into that question. We have to change our mindset, because the first thing that comes to mind with the first question is money. It's not all about money. You can help people in more ways than just money. When they're asked for our help, it's not necessarily they need money. Sometimes they need a little help in their guidance, a little help in their decision making. Reference to landfill, I personally think we need to go back to the drawing board and research our ideas so we can inform the people, that the people might be able to make an informed decision on where we go and what we do about this. And that way we don't have to keep coming back to the same issue. But we research the facts, inform the people, and let the people make an informed decision on where do we go from here.
Thank you, Mr. Banks, and I apologize to you. Mr. Pickens, would you respond in 1 minute or less to the issue of the processing of out-of-county household waste?
First, I would like to agree with Commissioner Pellissier that the county is very well placed with the amount of land that they have. Bringing in outside garbage is a touchy subject. I went to one of the meetings where they were discussing that, and that was probably the biggest concern of everybody. If we are going to do that, there definitely needs to be a plan of what we're going to take, where we're going to take it from, how it's going to be processed, and just a complete plan of how that's going to benefit Putnam County.
You got some time, you still got time, that's 30 seconds.
He was notifying you that you were in the 30-second threshold.
Anyway, but I think there would have to be a detailed plan, a lot of research, and go to some of these other facilities and see what they're doing, see what's working with them, and put a plan together for Putnam County, okay? And then go with that.
Thank you, Mr. Pickens. Commissioner Flags.
Thank you so much. Again, what appears to be so simple on the surface is not as simple as it appears. Each of the contiguous counties that would be the prime candidates to engage into an interlocal agreement with have existing contracts with various entities who are responsible for either picking up the waste or disposal of the waste. So the teammates that you have are the, number one, the county governments in each of these contiguous counties, as well as those who are in the business of hauling waste or disposing of waste. And it so certainly will take a group of individuals that come together with like minds and who have a desire to save money in their counties based upon the agreement that they're currently engaged in and obligated, legally obligated to. And then at that point, if Putnam County can be the beneficiary of the economy of scale by getting only waste contiguous, it would be a viable plan.
Thank you, Commissioner Flagg. Mr. Hayes.
I want you to go home tonight, look at your trash can, or what you wear, like the kitchen trash, and look at all the labels of what is recyclable. All those items, if you clean it and set it to the side and it's recyclable, you're gonna end up with a little bag of this weird squishy stuff. That's the part that's we have to figure out creatively what we're gonna do with it. We can probably distill it, make alcohol. But all those other items, they're chopping it up, they're recycling. See, where the money's at is what you have to do is take it to mill grade. What they're currently doing when they say there's no money is because they collect it and then they ship it to somebody else who's taking it to mill grade. That's where the money's at. So if we want to take outside trash from other people, we'll set standards. That way we're not wasting a lot of time and energy creating that industry of taking it to mill grade. And we might not accept the squishy stuff until we figure out a way to process it. But we'll have to start out with processing and finding who's going to buy our junk first. Then we'll take it on because it's profit.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Ms. Engelking.
I'm in agreement with Carl and Mr. Oh, what's his name now? Never mind. Anyway, I took an antihistamine, I'm sorry, and I got the giggles. This is a serious subject, I apologize. My thing as a realtor, it is very, very important, that image when you come across the bridge. Well, when you're coming in from Highway 17, what are we going to have? This huge mound of everybody else's garbage. I think there's ways that we can resolve the problem. I think there's ways we can make money. If we just do our homework, let's go shopping. Like he said, there's a lot of labels on there. These are all recycled items. Why don't we check into that and find out how each one of these items can benefit our county and our landfill? So it's a lot of, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Engelking. Mr. Goddard.
If we really need to take a good look at this. Personally, I don't like the idea, but I'm not here to represent me, I'm here to represent you. What we need to do is give you all these options and let you come up with a good idea. I don't want the garbage coming into our community. I just don't. We're already known as the poorest. I don't want to be known as the garbage capital. I just don't. But that's not my decision, that's your decision. But I do believe we need to gather all this information and put it out there so that we put it on the ballot, whatever needs to be done, so that we can make a very good vote, a good decision on what's best for our dump. Right now it's running along, and we may not like what we're having to spend for it, but it's still our dump and we're not having to get rid of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goddard. Commissioner Pelletier.
Let me be clear when I said the people that were interested in buying our landfill, they were only buying 90 acres. 90 acres. That still leaves us with 1,472 acres. So we were still going to be the lead dog in this race for controlling a very valuable piece of property that is valuable to our county. We still have that solid waste advisory committee at our disposal. We are looking and talking with some other counties, trying to get their waste. Certainly, we've got to be cheaper than they do. But if we're going to cut our costs to our citizens and help us, if we're one of the poorest, we've got to help our folks. That's one way to do it. You're not obligated forever. You can give a 5, a 10, a 15-year deal. You're not married to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Banks?
Again, I think we really need to look at this again and reevaluate. I do understand that when you're in a certain predicament, sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do to get where you need to be. And so if we sit back and think about it and really inform the people, like I say, do our research, inform the people, and let the people make an informed decision about that. We need to do what creates the most value for Putnam County. No other county. We need to do what's going to benefit us when we get the best value out of it.
Thank you, Mr. Banks. Mr. Blythe?
We have done a lot. We've had 2 solid waste advisory boards. We've spent months looking into this issue. We spent months looking at what everybody else was doing. This is not new. We've been down this road. But I think what we should do is, first of all, this is ancient technology. Cavemen did this. That's how we know what they did. It's a liability for generations. All waste has value, so a good plan would include recycling. And I mean recycling down to the element level. Future technology will use plasma or some other technology to recoup the basic elements and return them to the supply stream. And how do I know that? Because I deal with plasma, and plasma is a way of getting things down to the basic elements. You can do that with nuclear fusion too. So new technology is right around the corner. It's already happening in other countries. It's not here yet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blythe. Our next question is a 2-minute question, and this has to do with animal control. And we'll start with Commissioner Flagg. What changes would you make in the operation of Putnam County Animal Services Department?
Thank you for the question. The major issue that we are dealing with animal control is facilities that are outdated, that does not give the staff the opportunity to maximize modern technology and modern means to give the very best of care and attention to the animals. Every single thing we need has a price tag associated with it. This commission is looking for this upcoming budget year to allocate funds. We cannot wait on a grant. We cannot wait on another partner to come to the table. We will be allocating funds to make sure that the current staff we have, with all of their specialties, they will have a facility to operate in that will cause us to be proud. The recent audit indicated if the facilities are modernized and not fixed, but brought up to date by having a new facility, that 90% of our issues will disappear. Thank you.
I guess I have to read to you because on the website at the elections office, one of the first paragraphs is the answer to the animal control system. For the last 2 months, I've been trying to send the local county commission, the current commissioners, to visit that website to bounce the idea off them, and there's been no result. So that's why I'm running for office. Let me read this to you. There currently is not a blood bank or much of a network for our 4-legged family members in the whole region. This is our chance to do something first that's highly needed, a self-perpetuating industry. I think we buddy up with a community college. They not only have the financial backbone to start such an enterprise, but it would also create a whole new curriculum in veterinary studies and add to our rural flavor. The college could expand large animal studies as well, which makes us unique. The county currently operates a kill shelter called Animal Control. I advocate we create an agency that's similar in funding structure as the volunteer fire department and name it Animal Services and Rescue. Keep the current location for quarantine purposes only, and set up foster kennels and the adoption process at the college. Students that are compelled to perform community service for their scholarships and etc. can easily clean kennels, walk dogs, cuddle kitties, and assist with the blood drawing. That stray or unwanted little soul can now be an asset and a benefit to the whole world and earn its keep by donating blood and be part of an instrument of OJT at the school. To see that this idea becomes a reality, I'm currently trying to develop the Boogerhead Foundation in honor of my best friend, Conrad, to advocate the idea, and we'll get the funding to donate the equipment to the college. Dogs have 18 different types of blood, so that's where it becomes a little tricky. But if we have the blood testing equipment, we can match the dogs. Now we have a whole industry and no kill shelter. Visit the website.
Ms. Engelking?
I believe we need a new shelter, an upgraded shelter for our animals, with animal control. Work with the University of Florida and their medical center. But I think a new facility and really having the dollars for it is going to change the image of how our animals are being treated here. I don't believe in a no-kill shelter, or I do believe in it. And we have too many of those here in our area. Thank you.
Mr. Goddard.
Yes, that's another really bad subject. What Carl was saying is, they've been pointed out, we've seen what we need, now it's how to fund it. But we do, if we're gonna continue as a community, we're gonna have to take care of this problem, which, you know, it means we're gonna have to allocate the money to do it. Enhance the volunteer systems, and you know, this is a very important subject that our county does need to address. We may not have the money, but I don't think it's going to be an overly expensive ordeal. We need to get some numbers and put them together. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Goddard. Commissioner Pellissier.
Again, this is something that we touched on today in our budget meeting. We have tentatively set dollars aside for the construction of the new facility, pending budget approval here in a couple of weeks. You know, we've got to take care of these things, these animals. They're a part of our community. It does come with a price tag, as Commissioner Flagg said. It's just an expense that is built in there. We believe we have a piece of land located that is possibly going to be donated for this facility to be built on. We have good quality people in place that are doing the job. They're taking care of those animals. They just need a better environment to work in, and we hope to provide that soon.
Thank you, Commissioner Pellissier. Mr. Banks, please.
Again, I think that's one of those things we really need to research again and look into. We really need to utilize our volunteers and different organizations and different people to get their input. Because before we just say I'm going to allocate money or anything with money, we really need to search around surrounding counties, other places. Because I live in several places in Port St. Lucie where we got volunteers and community people involved to actually build a shelter, animal shelter, where the commissioner in that area didn't have to come out of their pocket. So I think we really just, if we can just pump up brakes and just really look at some of the assets that we have here before we go to spending money, I think we can accomplish.
Thank you, Mr. Banks. Mr. Blythe, please.
The facility must be moved. Right now, we get parvo outbreaks every other month. That's going to continue because the parvo's in the ground out there. And it's located at the landfill. So the facility has to be moved. I don't think anyone would argue that point. We just don't have money right now. Now we could take money out of PPP and push something else back. I believe it needs to happen. But I also think that we need to partner with surrounding communities to help with adoptions, and also maybe partner with some other bigger, like maybe PetSmart or somebody like that, to try and help us get a new facility. Once they realize that we have parvo in the ground here, we can't build a new one, and the animals are suffering, maybe they'll help out. And also, I'd like to get Gainesville vet students to volunteer weekly for credit for the sick and injured animals, because we get them in sick and injured, but we don't have veterinarians to come in there and take care of it. So a rescue has to come in there and take the animals somewhere to get it worked on. So as a county, we can't afford to pay a vet to come and fix a dog that we just got in on a truck. So if we had vet students to come down and do that, that'd be great. And also, I'd like to work with prisoners more with the animals. Maybe they can take them back to prison with them. But maybe we can start a program for wounded warriors, maybe get trained to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bly. Mr. Pickett.
Is it on now? Okay, yeah. From what I understand of animal control is that one of the biggest issues is the facility, where it is, and then the age of the facility. So yes, definitely, if the county could find a way to come up with the money to build a new facility in another place, and also make sure that it is staffed properly, and then also understand that part of making that center work is volunteers. Volunteers, if anybody's in a civic organization, are harder to find, but to ramp up and to try to increase the volunteer participation to help make that facility work for Putnam County.
Thank you, Mr. Pickett. We're going to shift gears here and go to economic development issues, and that is probably the #1 topic on many of your minds. The first question, and this is a 2-minute question, and I will pose this to Mr. Hayes. What are our major impediments to economic development in Putnam County, and what remedies do you support?
First off is the idea to create industry instead of worrying about growth and development, because every time we get into this growth and development thing, we get left holding the bag. Now, one of the ways to go about it is the recycling. And we have to change. When I was a kid, I used to clean the garage for all the old soda bottles and turn them in for a deposit. So I have an idea that's already in place, and we as a county commission could start the process. But you know them disposable batteries? Did you know that you can turn them in at Staples, and then they ship them somewhere and strip them down for the raw goods? How about if we place a deposit on those little batteries? That way you tell your kid, hey, you clean up your room, you can have the batteries on that gadget you got stuck to your face. Now we've created not only a forced recycling method, but we have an industry. Who's buying that paste out of those old batteries? Get it to mill grade, to where we're shipping it off. I'm currently trying to correspond with the guy that's the environmental whoever with Staples to see where they're shipping that stuff, because maybe they might want to set up shop here. The other thing is, did you realize that over 40% of our revenues and industry is actually agriculture? And here we're trying to do, manufacturing and that kind of stuff, but hey, we need to enhance the agriculture aspect. And then recently, the barge port where they're building yachts all the time, did you know that man's building barges? How about if we enhance that idea? Because it turns out Jacksonville shut down a bunch of shipyards, and now they're doing hotels and motels and restaurants and destroying their waterfront just like we are over in the city of Palatka. And why don't we enhance that? One way we could do it without spending a lot of money is outside the barge port area. If we get that established as safe harborage, then it's all organic.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Ms. Engel-King, I'll restate the question. What are our major impediments to economic development in Putnam County, and what remedies do you support?
I think our major problem here that's hindering our growth in Putnam County is our infrastructure. We don't have the roads that are built for new development. This is something that's been going on for years and years and years. Highway 17 should have already been 4-lane to help us bring in growth. So I'd say infrastructure is the one thing that's hindering here. We also need to take a look at, you have to start small. the engine going, and you start growing from there, trying to bring small businesses into our county, helping the existing businesses that are in our county so that they will stay instead of leave. We need to also create a committee that's going to sit down and put all this together and then maybe make an appointment with the governor. The governor has a decision he can make. He can dedicate where certain industry is going to be put. So we need to get on that list with our governor to see and let him know what's going on in Putnam County. That we need industry here, but we need clean growth here, and we need controlled growth. I had someone tell me one time, we don't need change, we don't need all that industry coming in. And I said, we're not Duval County, we're not Palm Beach County. We would have planned growth. They do not have planned growth, and they're overdeveloped. So that's one thing that we really need to stress. But it can be done. I know that there's other counties that are competing for the same industries to come in, and so we have to shine a little bit better. But it's going to be hard and difficult because, like I said, the surrounding counties are looking also for those same jobs to be coming to there, especially St. Johns County. So let's start looking at the infrastructure. Let's start looking at what's out there for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Eagle King. Mr. Goddard.
Well, we all know we need the infrastructure. Unfortunately, we all know that's a lot of votes. So we do have some infrastructure in place that we do need to get some businesses, enticed to get down there. Our other big thing that I hear a lot from business people is we're not getting any help from the county at all. Our surrounding counties, you can go to Clay County, tell them you want to set up business, and they'll actually help you. You tell them you want business here, they're going to charge you for everything you've got. They're going to discourage you before you get going. And it's bad. I don't know how true it is, but I hear it continuously. If we are going to grow our community, we need to enhance what we got. These are the roads we've got. This is the river we've got. This is what we've got. What can we do with what we got? There's little things. I've been bringing it up for a long time because I'd like to see a water park here. But I'd like to see a water park right up the road here, 17. We would draw in enough people for the surrounding area, plus us. And it doesn't need infrastructure. That chlorine has to be monitored constantly. And there's other things that could enhance off of that would just move exponentially. That's just one that's just going to use our resources that we have. As we start to build our community, we'll build the income. And as the income comes in, then we can build the infrastructure. We've got a business park that's empty. We hit real briefly on the waterfront that's barely being used. We need to concentrate on our resources. Don't forget about we need our infrastructure, but how are we going to afford it? The only way to afford it, use what you got and build from there. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Goddard. Commissioner Pelletier.
You hear them talk about infrastructure. We just got some infrastructure in East Palatka. We've got water and sewer over there. That is going to be a huge shot in the arm for that side of the county. That was so much of a stumbling block for so long that anybody that came and talked to us about coming there, well, if you had the water, if you had the sewer, we'd love to put in a whatever. We have it now. We're ready for it. And they come back to talk to us, they're going to be happy about what they see because we're doing the right things. That's one of those things that, we've got it now. It doesn't happen overnight. But another one of our stumbling blocks that we have, and we're working on it with DOT, and I've said it forever, is transportation for our county. We do not have a 4-lane connector, east-west, north-south, that's completed. And that is a huge, huge stumbling block for us. There's 12.9 miles from Interlochen to Hawthorne, and they're in the process of acquiring the land for that now. I understand, I think if my memory's right, in 2019 they'll be breaking ground, and that sounds forever away, but that's 2.5 years. 17 South, I don't think you'll ever see it stop now. That the ball's rolling, it's going to keep moving forward. From all my information that I gather, District 2, which is what we're in with DOT, is structured to get a lot of money out of the state for growth, road growth. That's going to make a big difference in us. And you got to have people passing through your county to find what you have, the gem that you're sitting on. We can talk about it, we can, mail out mailers, we can do all that, but you got to have a volume of folks passing through that are going to stop. Everybody that passes McDonald's doesn't stop and buy a hamburger, but some do. So you put enough volume of folks through a county, you're going to have people that's going to see the beauty that we have here on that river. A lot of people don't realize it.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Banks, please.
We talked about being ranked last in pretty much all of the categories. And I think we're realizing that and we're trying to get things turned around. Infrastructure, education, all of these things, we're at the bottom. And like so many said before, we didn't just get here overnight. It's going to take time and a lot of studying and a lot of working to bring us out of these situations that we're in. Like Mr. Buddy said, we need more things for our youth. A lot of places I go, they have sports complexes. In other words, we need to make our area more attractive to outside businesses. Go ask them, organizations, what is it about you need? What can we do? Really get out and try to talk to folks to get them to come in to see what they need and work on those problems. And I do think we're working on the problems and we're trying to get things turned around. But we just don't seem like we I guess from a personal standpoint, don't look like we're moving fast enough. But we're working at it. I can see, I honestly think the commissioners there are doing their best, but I think we need to help them a little more, or push them a little more, because I think there's more that can be done.
Thank you, Mr. Banks. Mr. Black.
Well, East Palatka is not an industrial area. East Palatka Water and Sewer was put in there for residential. It was because they have a whole lot of septic tanks. And you've got the river running through there, septic's leaking in the river, blah, blah, blah. So saying East Palatka is going to increase our industry, I don't see that. So anyway, taxes, what's standing in the way? Taxes, permitting, red tape, the workforce, depending on what industry. And not only that, but, a big company can't put in an office with 500 to 1,000 employees all on a computer. Putnam County couldn't handle it. So what the schools are doing is they're getting fiber optics in right now to alleviate that problem for the schools. But that problem still exists for industry, so that's one of the first things we need to get going. In the industrial area, which we've already built, the business park, we have a couple of them. Those are the places where industry should be going. That's what should already have water and sewer. So that's where we should look for our industry.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Mr. Pickens.
This is probably the biggest concern for Putnam County, for the future of Putnam County. Definitely, I believe that infrastructure, we definitely need, and hopefully will continue the 4-lane, 17 South, and hopefully they'll finish the east-west 4-laning, because we have to be able to get goods in for manufacturing and get them back out. Definitely water and sewage strategically placed around the county if possible. I know that all takes money, but you have to have that to attract businesses to Putnam County. And we're in competition with other counties for those same businesses. We also, if we're going to look at attracting a business, we need to promote the positives of why they should come to Putnam County, and also focus on the negatives of why they don't want to come here. We need to address that. Labor, also, if we're going to try to bring a business in, do we have the labor pool, the skilled laborers to fill those jobs? I think we need to work closely with the technical school, St. John's, and definitely enhance programs at the high school for technical skills and things like that. I also think we need to continue working with the Chamber of Commerce, promoting Putnam County as a great place to live, to vacation, to work, to raise a family, and maybe start promoting Putnam County as a part of Florida that you don't see anymore, the part of Florida that's lost, okay? That from the bigger cities that have sprung up all around us. And also to promote Putnam County as being a kind of centrally located county that was so close to the beach, the Disney World, University of Florida, and Jacksonville.
Thank you, Mr. Pickens. Commissioner Flagg.
Thank you again for the question. It's no doubt about it. We need a strengthened infrastructure in this community. That infrastructure does not only consist of water and wastewater, transportation through the highway networks that we have, educated workforce, technology, so that cell phones don't drop calls. Our computers are running efficiently throughout this county. We need to also understand of the 19 million residents in the state of Florida, the 67 counties that exist, Florida is as strong as its weakest county. I don't accept mediocrity. I operate in excellence. And if we could really turn this county around, it would start with the leadership of the county. It would start with the citizens of the county. We bash ourselves more than anybody because we misidentify who we are, what our resources are. We are a great community. We just need to pull together. It doesn't matter what your name, rank, and serial number is, what side of the tracks you were brought up on. If we're going to be Putnam County, we need to be Putnam County strong. We need to be solid, and we need to be really concerned about every aspect of our community. We need to make sure that individuals who have worked all of their lives and have paved the way for us, that this place become a retirement area that is second to none, where individuals will come in and invest their disposable income within our community to help strengthen our neighborhoods. We must be concerned about the educated workforce. We must be concerned about crime rates that soar when people don't have economic opportunity and advancement. And it all comes together because we as a people decide that we're not going to be at the bottom, that we're going to be at the top. We must work with our governor. We must work with our senators. We must work with our representatives to make doubly sure that the partnership is strong and it's not based on party, it's based on people. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Flagg. The next question, we're drawing close to the end of our time. The next question is a yes or no. Are you in favor of the retention of the Rodman Reservoir? We'll start with Ms. Engelking. Yes or no? Retention of the Rodman Reservoir.
I want to keep the dam.
Mr. Goddard.
Knows me, knows where I stand on this. Yes, keep it. That's ours. That is a beautiful place, and we need to keep it.
Commissioner Pellissier?
Yes.
Mr. Banks?
Yes.
Mr. Bly?
Yes.
Mr. Pickens?
Yes.
Mr. Commissioner Flagg?
Absolutely, yes.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes, keep it, and I figured out how to make the tree huggers happy, I think.
We'll talk about that later. The next question has to do with economic development also, and a couple of your answers touched on this. What are your ideas on how we could take greater advantage of our single greatest asset, the St. Johns River, which runs the entire length of our county? Mr. Goddard.
I got 10 minutes. Is that what you said?
2 minutes or less.
He's hit on something I love. Our river is so beautiful. It's just a beautiful river. All the way down to the Ocklawaha. That river's the reason Putnam County is here. It created what we are. It's just incredible. But it needs to be utilized even more than it is. We've got shipbuilding that can be built and used there. I've always wanted to have a hotel downtown where you come in on a boat from up in Jacksonville and you have dinner coming down and You stay at our hotel, and then the next day you can take a shuttle and go to the Space Center or down to Disney World or St. Augustine, wherever. Or you can truck on down with a little dinner boat going down to the Ocklawaha and really see Florida, how beautiful it is. But those are the things. All I can say is our river needs to be utilized as the beauty it is. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Goddard. Commissioner Pellicer?
Get back to where I got cut off before. There are two counties that river divides, Duval and Putnam. Every other county borders it. So I feel like we're unique in that it slivers down through the middle of the heart of Putnam, where everywhere you look is Putnam, wherever you travel on that river. Buddy's right about the industry. That Shands Bridge is the biggest thorn in our behind right now. It just is. It is strangling us from industry, from the Navy building ships down here at St. John Shipbuilding. That thing has got to go. And if it was down tonight, it wouldn't be soon enough for what the growth that it would bring to our county. Mr. Gnu some time ago told me that he could hire 100 more welders. That's just welders. If he could have that bridge down to where he can. He's currently building ships that he can design, and they send them out of here in two pieces until they get them beyond the Shands Bridge where they can put them back together. That river is our life. It's so unique to us. Flows north. You know, there's not many in the world that do that. I think there's about 7, as I'm told. It's just a unique, valuable history lesson there that we can exploit even more, that we're not taking enough advantage of. Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Pellicer. Mr. Banks, please.
I'm going to go along with Mr. Pellicer on that. I think we don't utilize it. We talk about how beautiful the river is and all of this, but we don't really utilize it. Find ways to get people in. I've always thought to take advantage of it. One idea I just happened to think of one day, what do you see coming up in Pulaski in different areas? I know a lot of people don't like to gamble. I know a lot of people don't drink, and people love to eat. What went wrong with, just like I say, bring the ship in that does the three. People can gamble, people can eat on all of the above. Trust me, it'll be overloaded. People love to eat. Apparently they love to go to these space places, I guess, where they gamble, and they love to drink. Take advantage of it and stop talking about it. We can make some things happen.
Thank you, Mr. Banks. Mr. Blythe, please.
Well, the Shands Bridge is our biggest stepping stone right now. We're really limited what we can do because of the Shands Bridge. So the smaller traffic, sailboats and obviously bass boats, we already hold a lot of bass tournaments. It's the greatest place to catch bass in the world. So, and people know that. As far as the St. Johns River, Putnam County, and bass go, anyone who's ever fished bass knows where we're at. But some of the things we could improve on is water quality. I mean, one of the things I'd like to do is work with water management and people like Catherine Van Zandt, a water engineer, who understand the aquifers, and water flow patterns, and the ecology and how everything gets cleaned up, you know, as water moves through areas, and what our problems are. We need to get that water back to where it was in 1960. If anyone here was here in 1960, obviously I wasn't, but if you were here, you would see a completely different river than what you see now. So that has, the effects have come from us. So we did it, we can change it, we can put it back, it's going to take some work. I think that's what we need to do.
Thank you, Mr. Blythe. Mr. Pickens.
To answer the first economic question, definitely we need to reach out to our state representatives, our senators, our congressmen, and just tell them, Putnam County, we need help. We need their assistance, financial assistance. We need their wisdom. We need their guidance. On the river, yeah, it is a beautiful river, and it's very unique. Definitely raising the Shands Bridge will definitely make an immediate impact economically for Palaca. continue to promote the river. Everything we do, any publication we have, any advertisement that we have, is promote the river. And one of the problems that I see in South Putnam is that we have ramps, but we don't have adequate parking. We've got this beautiful river, but they've got to get on the river somehow. And there's a ramp in Georgetown with no parking. There's one in Black with very few parking. There's one in Shell Harbor. And so we need to look at if we could acquire some properties, maybe through grants, to where we can build some parking lots with restrooms, maybe picnic areas where these people can come and they can park their boats. They have a nice place and they can get on the river to where they can travel the river and spend their money.
Thank you, Mr. Pickens. Commissioner Flagg.
Thank you again for the question. It is very evident that both the state government, local government, regional government, federal government knows that the Shands Bridge, the presence of the Shands Bridge in its existing structure is a hindrance to Putnam County economic development. That obstacle needs to move. We know it. We know, again, it's a price tag that goes with it. Not only that, we need to maximize and balance the environment, environmental issues that are connected to the river, make sure that pollution is not going into that river through the agencies that are in existence to regulate the quality of that river. We need to be concerned about educating the public on the full benefits of that river, whether you live on the river, whether you play on the river, or whether you, again, use the river as a source of making a living. All of those factors are very important. We can promote and balance the environmental, the economical, and create a balance there with the recreational. And I think if we do that, we'll be safe.
Thank you, Commissioner Flagg. Mr. Hayes?
Commercial vessels would be a very good solution for us. And I seem to see that everybody seems to be on the same page, the barge port and the building of ships. Yes, the Shands Bridge is the biggest hindrance. But one of the ways that we can start the whole process is to create safe harborage, get that area designated as safe harborage. See, I used to be in the Coast Guard, and when it came to be stormy weather, we would look for a place to hide. So we would look on our charts and go, okay, here's a dedicated safe harborage. What happens is then the commercial traffic will start flowing in and you have to offer free moorage. Because Jacksonville has decided to engulf the waterfront and kick a few shipyards out, the barge industry is looking for a home. And the man that's running that shipyard was smart. He's building barges right now. And there's your jobs. There's the $225 after taxes for the tradesmen and the $100 a day for that young man to sweep up behind him. Working at McDonald's, you cannot raise a family. You need a minimum for the no-collar, low-educated individual. They need to make about $100 a day. That same young individual that's out there selling weed and raking leaves in the backyard, I asked that young man, what's going to get you off the black market? He wants $100 a day. And he wants to be proud of himself too, have that dirty dual belt. I'm making $100 a day. That's what they want. And we don't have that to their availability, so they're stuck doing what they're doing now. The other thing is we could take advantage of Whitney Laboratories and provide a manatee rescue and educational facility. We're so close to the dam where all the manatees get tore up and everything, so then they have to ship them all the way everywhere else.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. We're getting close to the end. This is a yes or no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ms. Engelking.
I'm sorry, that's all right. I'm short, I know. Okay, we're going to be summing it up. All right.
No.
Okay.
The question was, what are your ideas on how we could take greater advantage of our single greatest asset, the St. John River, which runs the entire length of our county?
We need to promote ecotourism. Our lakes, our streams, our canals, we need to promote them more and more to everyone in Florida, outside of Florida, to come here, go kayaking, go boat riding, go touring. It's the most beautiful county you can ever want to live in, and we don't promote it enough. President Johnson was here in 1960 when he was promoting the dam. He said Putnam County is one of the most beautiful counties in the state of Florida, and people should move here. And that is a great statement for us. And we should promote people to move here. And because of our rivers and our lakes and our streams, but we don't do enough. The county owns property right here on the river, on West River Road. They bought property in Georgetown. Nothing has been developed, nothing has been promoted. The house that sits here, it owns the property across West River Road. But it's a beautiful house. We could be using that to draw tourists here. We could use a bed and breakfast. Get in your boat right there and go kayaking or whatever. But we don't promote what assets we already have. Georgetown. We own property right on the river, Georgetown. We haven't promoted that. We haven't developed that. And that's part of the agreements. When you take out these grants, and you write those grants up, there's a litany of things you have to do. You have to have classes on the environment. You have to know about the rivers. So we're not even doing that. We're not adhering really to what the grants are stating we're supposed to be doing. So I think we need to stop and look at what assets we have and get the word out there. We have enough, I call them clouds, negative things over our beautiful county. And we need to get rid of those negative things by starting to promote.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Before we get into our final wrap-up statements, this is a yes or no question. No rationale, please. Would you consider voting for term limits, Mr. Banks?
Yes.
Mr. Bly?
Yes.
Mr. Pickens?
Yes.
Mr. Flagg?
Yes.
Mr. Hayes?
Absolutely.
Ms. Engelking?
Yes.
Mr. Goddard?
Yes. Yes.
Looks like we'll have term limits, doesn't it? Okay, in wrapping up, I'm going to ask each one to take 1 minute, a closing statement, and we will start, let's see, with Commissioner Pelletier.
Thank you. My closing statement's going to be just on a couple things that I heard mentioned that I'd like to clear up on. Someone said we haven't promoted our ecotourism. We just received a national ranking as a William Bartram Trail hub area. That's going to do a lot for us. That's going to get us all kind of exposure on a national level, people that will be traveling here to enjoy our St. Johns River with a paddle, kayak, canoe, whatever it may be, their means of travel. When I got this office, or ran for this office, the biggest thing that I ever heard from everywhere I went was public works and building and zoning. Can't get anything done, not user-friendly. We went to those department heads and expressed a desire for them to get user-friendly, not tell Mr. Jones, hey, you can't build that. You can't build it like this, Mr. Jones, but you can this way. We've worked on that. We've changed those department heads. We are making progress. I ask for your continued support to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Banks.
I am grateful for the invite and for this opportunity. And I am Harry Banks, and I'm running for District 1 County Commissioner in a very unique area down here. Crescent City, if you like, I'm surprised Mr. Pickens didn't tell you about that. The folks in that area, and I love Crescent City, beautiful, the most beautiful city in the county. The folks in that area are really working, even though they say we're a poor county, we're this and that. They are working to improve that area, all the way from the schoolhouse all the way down. They're working to improve. As a county, if we can just all get together, we can get this turned around.
I appreciate everybody coming out tonight and listening to us candidates. It really shows that you want to be involved, you want to know what's going on, and that you are involved in your government. And you need to be involved in your community, otherwise communities will never flourish. So that's what we need. We need more involvement. That's why why I'm running for commissioner, and I'd ask for your vote on this. Thank you.
Mr. Pickens.
And thank the Community Association for hosting this event, and thank everybody for coming out and for your attention. Like I said, I'm a third generation businessman, and I feel blessed that I've been able to work and raise my family and give back to a community for 3 generations. It's getting harder to do in Putnam County. And the only reason I'm running for county commissioner is to give back to the community that's been so good to me. I have the desire to serve the citizens of Putnam County. I will use my 35 years of operating a business, of making decisions, tough decisions, to hopefully work with the commission for the betterment of Putnam County. And I thank you for the opportunity tonight, and we appreciate your consideration.
Commissioner Flagg.
Thank you so much. Again, hope everyone have a great evening. Enduring us has certainly been a blessing. I'm Carl Flagg. I'm your visionary leader. I've served you. You've served me. We are partners. I live here. I love here, and I'm learning from here. I'm determined to make us better, stronger, and wiser. Thank you for what you do every day. I will listen to our citizens. I will continue listening to our citizens, and I will also learn from the experts. And when I move, I will move based on the facts. I'm Carl Flagg, and I approve this message. Thank you.
Mr. Hicks.
I don't know if you figured it out, but one of the things that I am suggesting and would like to be able to do is break up the central power that our local government is trying to do. They're trying to engulf every little scenario in our lives. If we keep the volunteer fire department as a volunteer fire department, create animal services and rescue as a separate individual entity, all these ideas. There was a guy by the name of Prince, and the only political thing he said was that the government seems to be trying to do things that we can do for ourselves. And then bottom line is that we can change all the crowns on the top. It's the mid-management that's been keeping us stagnant for the last umpteen years. So therefore, fire the county administrator. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you for this evening and the laughs. I just want to let you know, I am very passionate about this job. It means a lot to me to be your county commissioner. I'm a hard worker. I've had my own business for 40 years. I've been top producer in all the jobs I've been with and working in real estate. I've given a lot back to the county in volunteering, starting a bass tournament, hospice bass tournament during the Gulf War. My daughter was called to serve her country. So we started a big support group here. So this is my home for 27 years, and I want to see some positive things to come to our home. We got to work together to make it happen. But in the last 4 years, all we've seen is negative things that could have changed. I will be here. I believe in transparency. I believe in ethics. And I would like to be your county commissioner. I will be on the August ballot. Think pink, think Mary Kay. God love you and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goddard. I'm the one you've been wanting to hear, the last one. Thank you for coming out tonight. And those questions, I tell you what, those were very important, needed questions that we were asked tonight. I think everybody was wanting to get some of those answers. And I wish we all had the answers. All I can say is I've been very successful in life. Number one, I've got a wonderful wife. But I have been very successful in business. I been blessed with the ability to make calm out of chaos, which has helped me in my industry. But being able to listen, gather the information, and make a good decision, not that they're all good, but most of my decisions have been good. But I do believe wholeheartedly I can make a large difference in our community, large, if I was given the chance. I also believe if we all work together, we definitely can make Putnam much better. I am Buddy Goddard, running for County Commissioner. I will not be in the primary. I will be on the general election. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goddard. Let's give a round of applause to all of our candidates. I think it's obvious they've all done their homework. They all mean well for our community, and we're fortunate to have people like you running for public office and offering yourself to be a public service. Thanks to the Bostwick Community Association Incorporated for hosting this, and Mr. Dantzler asked me to tell you that the next forum will be July the 11th, and it will be the superintendent of schools, candidates, and the school board members. And that's all we have. Thank you so much. Good evening.
I'm a write-in candidate. I won't be on the ballot, so write my name in if you like what I have to stand for.